Welcome back to my channel, Madden Language, and we're going to talk about business combinations, part 20, direct valuation method. So, ito na yung second to the last part ng chapter 3 at second to the last part na rin ng buong business combination natin na lecture. Yes, namin na tayo sa tapos sa business combination. So, let's start with indirect valuation, yung residual approach. Etong indirect valuation, ito yung palagi natin ginagamit para makuha yung goodwill. So, residual approach, goodwill is measured as the excess lang or residual amount after a transaction. So, mga core formula natin, alam natin to, yung consideration transferred, plus mo ng non-controlling interest, o plus mo ng previously held interest, minus mo ng fair value of not identifiable assets. Ito yun, 'di ba? Ito yung palagi nating ginagamit para malaman natin yung, ang tawag dito, para malaman natin yung goodwill. Hmm. Papakita ko lang sa inyo kasi we're going to talk about the direct valuation. Direct, hindi siya indirect, okay? So standard compliance required by PFRs 3 to. So analogy, okay. So kunyari, if you buy brand name, kunyari box of cereal na 500 pesos, yung ingredients sa loob nun are worth 300 pesos lang. Yung 200 pesos difference, ay ito yung goodwill na you paid for the brand. So, yun, palagi natin ginagamit yun eh. Okay. So, doon tayo sa direct valuation. Ito yung pinaka lesson natin. The earnings approach. So, key concept, goodwill is the value of expected future earnings that exceed the industry average. So, bakit nga ba? This method assumes goodwill exists because the company is exceptionally profitable compared to its peers. So, parang dahil mas famous ako, I deserve na may extra. So key terms to define, normal earnings, the industry average profit for similar assets, normalized earnings natin na at maraming mga tawag dito, terms na kailangan yung malaman. Normalized earnings naman yung actual profits adjusted to remove one-time items like fire losses or lucky wins, excess earnings or superior earnings, I think extra profit that makes the company special. Mm, Hindi nyo ba siya maano, kaso pag sa mismong formula or problem solving, gets natin to. So components of direct valuation tayo, ito yung mga required data points. Normal rate of return, ito yung average industry percentage. Estimated future earnings, normalized for accuracy. Discount rate, ito yung ginagamit para makalculate. Check ko lang kung yeah, nag-record. Use to calculate the present value of the excess earnings. Last one, yung probable duration, ilang taon para ma expected to last yung extra profits na to. So, dahil alam natin yung concept, ito yung mga raw data na we need to actually perform para dun sa direct valuation. Dapat alam natin to. Hmm. Kasi maraming formula, mahaba yung formula or maraming methods para mahanap yung goodwill para dito sa direct valuation. Okay? So, yung normal rate of return, ito kasi yung parang benchmark. Kasi yung ballpen ko. Ito yung parang benchmark. Mm. So, ito yung parang passing grade for the industry. Yung estimated future earnings naman, ang tawag dito, ito yung parang we derive it or we got it from the past performance. Past, nagiging lang performance. Yeah, performance yan. Performance, kaso naka-adjust for the future. Tapos may mga discount rate din. Kasi yung, kunyari, yung pera na na-earn mo 5 years from now, hindi na siya worth ngayon. Hindi, iba yung presyo niya. Hmm, okay. So, probable duration naman. Yeah, okay. Next. Normal versus normalized earnings. Ito kasi maraming nalilito dito. So, we're going to talk about it. So, I'll read it first. Definition. The profit a typical company in the same industry would earn using the same amount of assets. Yung formula niya is yung fair value of net assets mo multiply mo sa normal rate of return. Okay? Ito palagi natin magagamit to. So, kunyari, if the average lemonade stand makes a 10% profit and you have 100 pesos in lemons or sugar, your normal earnings are 10 pesos. So yung 100, multiply mo sa 10%, ayun yung, kasi ito yung fair value of assets mo, di ba? Multiply mo siya sa normal rate of return, and you got the normal earnings. Normalized earnings naman is a company's actual past profits adjusted to remove noise or one-time events. So why? Why adjust? Because a random fire at the warehouse or a lucky one-time lottery win doesn't reflect the company's future ability to make money. Oh, yung parang nagkataon lang. Okay? So common adjustments, you add back one-time losses, katulad ng mga fire, earthquake, damage lawsuit, settlements paid. Tapos yung mga one-time gains is subtract natin siya. Okay? Alright, so normal earnings, yun nga, ito yung industry average. Industry average. Okay? Industry average natin. Yung normalized earnings naman, ito yung parang mga nililinis lang natin kasi natanggal natin yung mga one-time losses, one-time gains. So add back, tapos ito subtract. Hmm. Para makita natin yung pinaka earning power. Bakit nga ba tayo nag-add back subtract? Para makita natin yung true earning power nito. Earning power. Without these kind of events. Understanding the excess naman, the excess or super profits, excess earnings, super profits. Formula niyan is normalized earnings minus man ng normal earnings. Okay mo dito normalized earnings, ito yung company's true power, at ito yung industry benchmark. Para makuha mo yan, minus mo lang yan, makuha mo yung excess earnings. So this number represents the extra money the company makes specifically because of its intangibles, yung brand, secret recipe, loyal customers. Rule of thumb, if excess earnings are zero or negative, the company has no goodwill under this method. Even if it's profitable, it's just average. Okay. So, excess earnings or also called super profits siya ha. Pamalito kayo. I think parang extra money. Extra money the company makes because it's better. Mas okay siya sa average. Hmm. You're better than the average. Yung excess money mo doon, that is the super profits. Hmm. Okay. Next one. Duration and the discount rate. So, probable duration, years of purchase. How long will this competitive advantage last? Usually, accountants estimate 3 to 5 years. It's fair to assume a company will stay superior forever. Hindi lahat ng araw Pasko. Okay? Yung parang ibig sabihin nun. Parang, we have to decide kung hanggang kailan tatagal yung magic. Hindi ka naman palagi nasa taas, di ba? Oo. So, sa accounting, we are yung parang prudent, 'di ba? We usually assume the competitive advantage will last only 3 to 5 years. Siyempre, makakapag-catch up din yung competitors natin, 'di ba? Mm. Okay, so kunyari, ayan, discount rate, capitalization rate. This is the risk factor. If the business is risky, especially, example, in tech startup, we use a higher rate, which makes the goodwill value smaller. If the business is very stable, a utility company, utility, kuryente, mga ganun, we use a lower rate which makes the goodwill value larger. Mhm. So, nag-apply tayo ng discount rate or capitalization rate kasi ito yung nag-represent sa risk, di ba? So, pag volatile yung industry, volatile or risky, we use a higher rate. So, pag okay naman siya, we use a lower rate. Pag okay, lower. Pag hindi masyado, then we use a higher rate. Next. Okay, example, visualization table. Iligay ko lang to para kahit papaano, ma-visualize natin ng isang table lang. Kasi hindi lang ito yung components ha. Okay, net assets, 1 million. Example lang to. Ito yung physical stuff the company owns. Assets minus liability, equity. Net assets or equity, pares lang yun. Normal rate natin, 10%. What everyone else in the industry earns. Okay? So, normal earnings, kunyari may 100,000, 100,000, saan galing 100,000? Yung net assets mo, multiply mo siya sa normal rate para makuha mo yung normal earnings. Normalized earnings naman, what this specific company actually makes. Mm. And yung excess earnings, paano makuha yan? Yung normalize, minus mo siya sa normal. Ito yun, no? Normalize minus normal earnings. Normalize, yung mahaba mo yan. Mas mahabang word, minus mo sa mas maikling word, makukuha may excess earnings. Okay? Okay, problem solving na tayo. Mandaming method to ah. So, you have to, I think, hindi naman memorize. Intindihin mo din kung paano makuha yung formula or paano yan. Okay, ABC company is contemplating on acquiring XYZ Incorporated. The following information was gathered through a due diligence audit. The actual earnings of XYZ, by the way, nakuha ko to kay Sir Milan na. The actual earnings of XYZ Incorporated for the past 5 years are shown below. So, yan, 2001, ito yung earnings nila hanggang 2005. Ang total ng earnings from 2001 to 2005 ay 6.9 M. Earnings in 2005 include an expropriation gain of 400,000. Tapos, uh, the fair value of XYZ's net assets as the end of 2005 ay na nga is 10 million. Mhm. Fair value of XYZ's net assets. Okay? The industry average rate of return is 12% daw, and probable duration of excess earnings is 5 years. Mhm. So, sir, ano ba yung expropriation gain? Mhm. So, hindi siya standard financial term. Kaso, ito yung parang financial benefit. Financial benefit or ito yung compensation received. Mm-mm. Compensation received. Okay? Alright. Next one. So, ito na yun. So, method 1, meron tayong multiples of average excess earnings. Okay. Method 1, multiples of average excess earnings. Under this method daw, goodwill, bali compute natin yung goodwill. Goodwill is measured at the average excess earnings multiplied by the probable duration of excess earnings. So yung excess earnings daw, we multiply natin sa probable duration of excess earnings. So paano ba makuha yung excess earnings? Kailangan natin makita ang average annual earnings at normal earnings. Siyempre, isa-isayin mo yan. Ang average annual earnings, para makuha yan, you get the total earnings for the last 5 years, which is ito, 6.9, di ba? Ang galing, oh, pwede ko palanin. Tapos, i-less mo yung expropriation gain na 400,000, which is ito yun. Tapos, yung pagbangga mo na sila, ito ni normalized earnings for the last 5 years. Hmm, okay. Hindi ko malagyan ng double line. Nahihirapan ako eh. So, 6.5 M yan. Di-divide mo siya doon sa 5 kasi 5 years. Mm. Ayun na makukuha mo. Kasi average nga, di ba? Annual earnings. Eh, di 5 years yan. Annual is years. Hmm. Di, ang average annual earnings natin ay 1.3. Paano kunin? Kunin mo yung total earnings for the last 5 years. Minus mo ng expropriation gain. Tapos, makukuha mo yung normalized earnings for the last 5 years. But you just want the average annual earnings. So, di-divide mo siya sa number of years, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 years. Kaya 1.3. Okay. Nakuha na natin yung isang component ng excess earnings, kailangan mo na mahanap yung normal earnings. Para makuha yung normal earnings, yung fair value of acquired net assets, andito po yan, ito. Mumultiply mo siya sa normal rate of return, which is ito rin. Ba? Yan, multiply mo yan, ito yung sagot, 1.2 M. Excess earnings daw as A minus B, average annual earnings minus mo sa normal earnings, which we have, which is 100,000. Multiply mo siya sa probable duration of excess earnings, which is nakalagay dito. Mm, okay, 5 years. So, 100,000 times 5, that's 500,000. Ito yung goodwill natin. Ang komplikado, no, hindi ko tulad ng indirect valuation. Mas madali yung dati. Kaya nga pala sa chapter 3 to eh. Hmm. Okay. So, paano kapag method 2 naman? Capitalization of average excess earnings. So, under this method daw, goodwill is measured at the average excess earnings divided by a predetermined capitalization rate. So kung may capitalization rate, mag-assume na lang tayo, capitalization rate daw ay 25%. So paano hanapin yan? Yung average earnings mo, paano makuha yung average earnings? Ito yung kanina. Ito, 1.3. Kunin nyo lang to ah. Mm. So ito na yun eh. 1.3. Normal earnings natin, ito yon kinuha. So fair value of acquired net assets multiply mo sa normal rate of return, 1.2. So excess earnings, alam na natin paano kunin yan. Yung average earnings minus mo sa normal earnings, which is 100,000. Di-divide mo siya sa capitalization rate. Divide mo sa 25% and you got 400,000 para sa goodwill. Pag ang method ay capitalization of average excess earnings. Paano kapag capitalization of average earnings? Ah, okay. Pinikaiba. Ito, average excess earnings. Ito naman, capitalization of average earnings. Walang excess. So under this method, the average earnings are divided by a predetermined capitalization rate to estimate the purchase price of the business combination. Yung excess daw ng estimated purchase price over the fair value of the acquiree's net assets represents the goodwill. So, ayan, given naman yung capitalization rate. Yung average earnings, ito palagi natin nakukuha to. Yung, ito yon. Total earnings for the last 5 years, minus mo ng expropriation gain, that will be the normalized earnings for the last 5 years. I-divide mo siya sa number of years and you got 1.3. Pa? Capitalization rate, i-divide mo, 12.5. Ito yung lalabas. Lalabas yung estimated purchase price. Yung fair value of XYZ's net assets, nasa given po siya, which is ito. Ah. So, naalala nyo, ito yung fair purchase price. Ito yung parang consideration transferred mo dati. Consideration transferred mo, tapos ito lang yung halaga ng binayaran mo. So, may goodwill ka ng 400,000. Sobra eh. Mm. Another method. Present value of average excess earnings. So under this method, goodwill Dow is measured at the present value of average excess earnings discounted at a predetermined discount rate over the probable duration of excess earnings. So let's assume na yung discount rate daw ay 10%. Okay, paano to? So itong average earnings, so lagi natin nakukuha to, pati ito, at ito. So ulit-ulit lang to. Excess earnings ay 100,000. Kung multiply mo siya sa present value of ordinary annuity at 10%, ito yun, at number of years 5. Pag kinalki mo, ito lalabas, at i-multiply mo lang, ito yung goodwill natin. Okay? Napapansin nyo yung mga goodwill natin na lumalabas sa apat na method, magkakalapit lang. Pag sobrang baba naman yung method 4 mo, sabihin may mali na yun. Mhm. So, yan. Go back, go back na lang sa video para makita nyo yung solution. Okay? Some comparison of goodwill valuation methods. Kapag multiples of excess earnings daw, yung logic dito is, it assumes the buyer is paying for a specific number of years of extra profit. Yung calculation formula, excess earnings daw, multiply sa number of years purchase. The best use for small businesses with a predictable but limited competitive edge. Oh, okay. So ito pala yung gagamitin natin. Pag capitalization of average earnings, it treats the entire company's profit as a permanent return on investment. So this is good to know lang ha. Best use for stable companies where you want to find the total value of the firm first. Pag number three, capitalization of excess earnings, you assumes that the extra profit will continue indefinitely, perpetuity, perpetuity. So high growth firms with long-term brand power are proprietary tech. And lastly, present value of excess earnings uses the time value of money to value future extra profits today. So professional firms like law or CPA where key talent might eventually leave. Ito, good to know lang to. Okay. So problem solving number two tayo. ABC company is estimating the goodwill and the expected purchase of XYZ Incorporated in January 2006. The following information is determined. So we have this one, 5 years. At may earnings ka, pag tinotal mo 650 and year-end assets are 2.75 M. Let's have case 1. Pa naman case 1 natin is excess earnings ha. Yung goodwill daw shall be measured by capitalizing excess earnings at 30% with normal return on average net assets at 10%. The year-end net asset in 2005 approximate fair value. You will compute for the estimated purchase price and the contemplated business combination. So ito yung pro forma niya. Para makuha itong estimated purchase price, kukunin mo yung goodwill at i-add mo yung fair value of net identifiable assets acquired. Remember, ibabaliktad lang ang estimated purchase price is like the consideration transferred. Mamayas mo ng fair value of net. Kung naalala niyo sa mga previous video mo, chapter 1 and chapter 2, ito yun, di ba? Fair value of net identifiable asset at lalabas si goodwill. So, binaliktad lang. Di ba? Para makuha mo yung consideration transferred, you Go back. Minus 2, mag-a-add ka. Ito yun. So, average earnings natin, 650,000, i-divide mo ng 5. That's 130. Kasi 5 taon eh. Normal earnings on average net assets is 10%. Ano, kunin mo yung 2.75 M, i-divide mo siya ng 5. Okay? At yung sagot dyan, that's 550,000. Kunin mo yung 10% nito, that's 55,000. Excess earnings, alam natin, yung excess earnings daw ay average earnings minus normal earnings. That will be 75,000. At di-divide natin siya sa capitalization rate na 30%. Para makuha yung goodwill. Okay, so ito yung goodwill. Add mo na yung fair value of net identifiable assets para malaman mo kung magkano yung estimated purchase price. Okay? Okay, so paano pag average earnings naman? So goodwill shall be measured by capitalizing average earnings at 16%. Binigay yung capitalization rate. The year-end net assets in 2005 approximate fair value. We will compute for the estimated purchase price and goodwill in the contemplated business combination. So average earnings natin, 130,000. Kasi, 650,000 divide mo ng 5 years. Divide mo siya sa capitalization rate na 16%. That is 812,500. So nalala nyo dati, ang estimated purchase price is like the consideration transferred. Minus mo siya sa fair value of net identifiable assets. And that will be the goodwill. Hmm. Ba? Tingnan nyo to, baliktad lang. Dito yung estimated purchase price sa baba. Ngayon nandito na siya. Mm. So 812,500 minus mo ng 590,000, that is 222,500. Okay, problem solving number 3 tayo. ABC company plans to acquire the net assets of XYZ Incorporated with carrying amount of 9 million pesos. This amount now approximates fair value except for one asset whose fair value exceeds its carrying amount by 1 million pesos. XYZ's average earnings are 1.3 M. The industry average rate of returns is 12% of the fair value of net assets. XYZ's excess earnings are expected to last for 5 years, and the expected return on the investment is 10%. We will compute for the estimated purchase price using the present value of average excess earnings approach. Okay. Bagong method. Okay. Alright, so pag ganito, tawag dito, para makuha ang nahanap natin is average excess earnings. Okay. So wala to. Una, wala to. Pag ganun tayo. Okay. Ang, ito given to. Yung carrying amount of equity, let's start with carrying amount of equity. Okay. Yung carrying amount of equity natin, that is, alam ko binigay siya eh. Capitalizing, ay, sorry. Kaya pala hindi ko nalilito ako, number 4 pala to. Carrying amount of equity is 9 million. Ayan o. Ito yun. Pupula ko nga. Check. Excess of fair value of one asset over its carrying amount, 1 million. Hindi pa binibigay ito ha. Isipin nyo wala to. Ito wala din. Fair value of XYZ's net assets, 10 million. Okay, meron na tayo nito. Ngayon, ito pa ganun din to eh. Yung ano binigay sa atin? Okay. Yung tawag dito, average earnings. Kasi nag-squeeze din tayo dito, di ba? Binigay yung goodwill. Binigay ba yung goodwill sa atin? Ay, hindi binigay yung goodwill. Alright. So, excess earnings. Pwede. Kung binigay ba yung excess earnings, saka lang, basahin natin. At value. That's caring about average earnings are 1.3. Binigay pala to. Sorry. Mali pala. Ito pala yung ano. Ngali. Sorry naman. So, burahin ko lang to. Okay. Kuha ko ng ito. Yung average earnings natin, binigay pala na 1.3. So, hindi binigay pala to. Normal earnings in the industry is 12%, di ba? Ngayon, multiply mo 12% dun sa fair value of XYZ's net assets, which is 10 million, para makuha mo yung normal earnings, which is 1.2. Para makuha ang excess earnings, etong average earnings mo, babawas mo dito, that's 100,000. At multiply ka ng present value of ordinary annuity, 3.7 times. And pag kinuha mo to, ito yung lalabas. Multiply mo, ito yung goodwill mo. Okay? Para makuha yung estimated purchase price, dahil meron ka namang fair value of XYZ's net assets, ang tawag dito, go back. So, 379 dito, add ka ng 10 million para makuha mo yung estimated purchase price. Ah, ito pa yung tanong eh. Mm. Okay? Ang tip dito is you try to divide and conquer. Isa-isahin mo muna siya. Kung ano yung mga kailangan mo. Kaya, alamin mo na paano kunin excess earnings. So, ito yung gagawin mo. Mm. So, the more formula that you know, madali mo siyang paikot-ikutin para makuha yung nawawala. Let's have problem solving number 4. ABC Company acquired the net assets of XYZ Incorporated for 10.4 million. The acquisition resulted in goodwill of 400,000, measured by capitalizing the annual superior earnings of XYZ at 25%. The normal rate of return is 12% on net assets before recognition of goodwill. And pinapanap sa atin yung average earnings of XYZ. So, ito siya. Ito pala yun. Ito yung given kasi pag ganun tayo. Okay. So, ito na yung nawawala din. Mm. Ang unang gagawin dyan, saka lang. Ang hanapin natin, yung mga given natin. Goodwill, binigay. Ito, binigay din. Tapos, yung 10.4, ito. So, para makuha yung fair value of net assets acquired, nasa gitna siya, oh. So, parang 10.4, o minus ka ng ano, is 400,000. That is 10 million. Diba? Ngayon, itong goodwill, dahil 25% superior earnings, 25%, hindi ba nagdi-divide tayo? Mumultiply mo siya. Yung 400,000 times 25%, that's 100,000. At para makuha mo ang normal earnings, may 12% dito, mumultiply mo siya dito sa fair value of net assets acquired. Kaya ito ay 1.2. And pabaliktad tayo, so a-add mo 1.3M. Okay? Okay, let's have the last problem. ABC company XYZ Incorporated decided to combine and set up a new entity, Teddy Corp. Hmm. The individual records of the combining constituents show the following. Teddy Corporation issues 10% preference shares with par value per share of 100 pesos. Teka, kuha ko ballpen na dilaw. With 10% preference shares with par value per share of 100 for the net assets contributions of the combining constituents and ordinary shares with par value per share of 50 pesos for the excess of total contribution, net asset contribution plus goodwill over net assets contribution. The normal rate of return is 10% of net assets. Excess earnings will be capitalized at 20%. You will compute for the following. Goodwill, total contributions of ABC Companies XYZ Incorporated, at the ratio of total shares, preference and ordinary issued to ABC and XYZ. Haba, no? Okay. So let's start with goodwill muna. Itong requirement A. Ito, palagi natin ginagamit to. Average annual earnings minus mo ng normal earnings, you got the excess earnings, di ba? Tapos mag-divide tayo ng capitalization rate para makuha mo yung goodwill. So, 80,000, check natin. Kuha ko ng pula. Ay, pula. Sige, try nga natin. Blue na lang kaya. Tignan nyo to. Average annual earnings, 80,000 pati 120,000. Okay? Teka lang. Check natin. 10% preference shares with par value of 100. Okay. Alright, so, yung normal earnings saka. Okay, so I apologize. May nakalimutan na ako ilagay. Ito yun, no? Tignan nyo. Parehas lang to, nilagay ko lang to. Kaya pala hindi ko malaman kung saan galing 80,000 doon. Okay. Itong average annual earnings, ito, given tong 80,000. Teka, kunin ko yung blue ball pen. 80,000 given, 120,000. Kasama yan. Net assets at fair values, may 400 and 600 dito. However, for normal earnings on net assets, tingnan nyo, paano siya ginawa? Tingnan natin nakalagay dito. Normal rate of return is 10%. So, kunin mo yung 10% na itong 400,000 at 600,000, kaya naging 40,000 and 60,000 yan. Now, alam natin, pag excess earnings, pagbabanggay mo yung average annual earnings, pati normal earnings on net assets. So, 40 and 60 na siya. I-divide mo siya sa capitalization rate. Di ba nag-divide tayo palagi ng capitalization rate? Excess earnings, divide mo sa capitalization rate para makuha mo yung goodwill. Ito yung lalabas. Yung total nila, ito yun. Total goodwill tayo, 500,000. Kasi 200 plus 300 is 500. Pag total contribution naman, so wala to kasi nag-squeeze tayo. So, paano mo siya hanapin? Yung goodwill natin is 200,000. So, fair value of net assets. Total contribution, if you remember your contribution transferred, minus mo ng fair value of net identifiable assets, is equal to goodwill. So, pag ganun tayo, di ba? Yung goodwill mo binigay, fair value of net assets binigay ba? Ito pala, 400, 600. Hmm. Total contribution, yung parang binayad, if you remember. It can be assets or net assets or pwede rin siyang shares. So, 200, 400, 600 to. Pag chinek mo, 600 minus 400, 200. 900 minus 600, 300. Check mo naman kasi ito, 1 million to. Diba? Pag binawas mo to, 500 to. Oh, pag inad mo yan, 500 din. So ratio of shares issued, I think this is the last one. Okay, medyo komplikado siya. Kaso kaya natin to. Yung net asset contributions mo, 400, 600. Ito yun, no? Net assets at fair value. Total niya 1 million. Di-divide mo siya sa par value per share of preference share, which is 100. Saan nanggaling yung PS na yon? Ito yun, 100. Para makuha mo yung number of preference shares issued. So, paano kunin yung number of preference shares issued? Yung net asset contributions, di-divide mo siya sa par value per share of PS. So, makukuha mo yung ilan yung preference shares na na-issue. 4,000, 6,000. So, 10,000. Total contribution tayo, that will be 600,000. Ito yung kanina, total contribution. O, minus mo siya sa net asset contribution para makuha mo yung excess ng total contribution. Di-divide mo siya sa par value per share of OS. Remember, di ba palagi nauuna ang preference shares sa mga dividend? Kaso wala silang voting power. Diba? Priority ang preference shares. So, 200,000, 300 to, i-divide mo siya sa par value per share ng OS, which is, dito po siya galing. Dinivide mo siya, lalabas dito 4,000, 6,000, at inad mo 10,000. Yung total PS and OS issued, add mo lang itong 4,000, add mo dito 4,000, you have 8,000. Ito naman 6,000 plus 6,000. Nagkataon lang sila na parehas sila ha. 12,000. So pag ginad mo yung 8,000 plus 12,000, that's 20,000. At 10 plus 10 is 20. Yung paano mo kunin yung ratio of shares issued? Meron kang 8,000 dito na total PSNOS ni ABC at 20,000 yung pinaka-total nila. So 8,000 divide mo ng 20K, that's 40%. At ito naman 12,000 divide mo ng 20K, that is 60%. So total of 100%. Ba? So ganun lang siya. You can go back naman sa video para makuha mo yung formula. Don't worry, marami lang siyang formula kaso makikita mo naman may paulit-ulit lang eh. Lalo na yung itong average normal para makuha. Tapos yung divide tayo dito. Mm-mm. So your premium brand had better be delivering something special or it's not going to get the business, sabi ni Warren Buffett. Mhm. So big word, no? Di ba? So, tawag dito, si Warren Buffett, ito yung yung, ang tawag doon, yung mayaman na nag-i-invest sa stocks ba yun? Mm-mm. Okay. Alright, so thank you very much. This is the end of the lesson. If you have concerns or questions or you need clarifications, please comment down. Again, this is James, your math and language instructor. I'll see you again on my next video. That is the last one eh. I just forgot, but ito na yung last part ng business combination video ko. Maraming salamat po. Please like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Ayan, pakita ko lang ulit yung topic natin. Asan dyan? Ito. Direct valuation method. Haba, no? Okay, see you po. Bye.